Jeff Rolfin with Everything Boston Whaler. I'm here at Colony Marine for their annual indoor boat show, and right now I'm standing on the 210 Montauk. There's been some questions in the group lately about how does this boat function compared to a Dauntless, as well as some of the aspects of the head and some other features on the 210. So we'll walk through the 210. I do believe that there's a 220 Dauntless here, so we can do kind of like a compare and contrast between the two. There's a number of other whalers here that we'll take a look at and do some walkthroughs. But right now we're going to focus on the 210 Montauk, and hope you guys enjoy the video. Thanks.
So the 210 Montauk is a quintessential Montauk style boat. Unlike the Dauntless, I wouldn't say it's decontented, but it is laid out different. The Montauk is a lot wider of a hull design, so it gives you a large, wide open area. There's a great difference between the way that the Dauntless functions up front and the Montauk. The Montauk, you do have a large flat pad right here with storage. You have the traditional Montauk cooler up front with the seat back. On the Dauntless, what you'll see is there's a large storage area right here that is the lounge, and then smaller seats up front. Take it or leave it. I guess it really depends on how you want to use the boat and how you, if you fish the boat, how you use that. This is a great casting platform up here on the Montauk. Serves a lot of function. It's also a good lounge. It's difficult, I would say, for an adult to get a really good, comfortable location up here. The Dauntless is great because that big seat does give an adult an opportunity to sit down and be comfortable. On the Montauk, you do have storage up front, and it's separated into two separate lockers. One of the frustrating things is the latches to release these are underneath the cushion. On the Dauntless, the latches are up front so you can access them. It'd be great if there was a way to access it here. And there's also another storage locker up front here. So anchor rod, things like that can go into here. You can use this other one for other storage. But the one thing that's always frustrated me on this boat is the access to opening these hatches is underneath the bow cushions. The console is pretty standard Montauk style console. It's simple, it's clean. You do have the ability to flush mount screens into this. It's not super tall. You have a great line of sight over the top of it, even sitting down at the RPS here. One of the questions that people often ask is, can you get in and use the bathroom in this boat? So Q's gonna get in here and show you what a teenager can do. So you're what, 5'8"? Yeah, about 5'8". So you can see for a kid, it's not too bad. You can get in. You probably could use this for a changing area for small kids. Definitely having the bathroom, the porta potty there for small kids is a huge plus. But adults are going to have a lot more difficult time getting in and out of that. So having that on a center console boat, small center console boat like this is a great feature, especially with kids. It really keeps the usability of the boat up so that you have a longer day on the water because the kids are able to get in and out and use the bathroom. So that's less of a concern. Keeping the family happy is always key to keeping a boat long term. The RPS in this boat, standard whaler issue with the flip forward seat so you can sit facing aft. Gives you the opportunity to fish aft. It gives you the opportunity to have conversations with people behind you. You do have storage in here. This can be optioned with a live well. However, when you have gear storage that's built in like this for lures and things like that, you do lose the ability to have a live well in here. Seat folds back. The Montauk does have similar jump seats in the back to the 220 Dauntless. The 240 has a different style. This is a simple pre-cushioned single latch that comes up. So you do have the ability to flip it down, use it as a standing surface, flip it up, use it as a seated surface. And you do have access to storage and mechanicals underneath there. Also, these rod holders serve as an opportunity for you to put a backrest if you wanted to. You could put a cushion on top so you get a little bit taller seating position. So there's a few functions to those rod holders as well. But all in all, you can see the Montauk, the 210 Montauk here has stayed pretty true to what Whaler's always offered on the Montauk. It's a really, I wouldn't say basic, but it's a really standard fishing platform that's kind of no frills. It gives you a lot of ability to fish, to use the boat in many different ways. So it's a great versatile boat for a lot of people who are looking for a center console boat that's not huge and something that gives them true whaler quality. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this walkthrough. Appreciate it, and we're going to take a look at some other boats. So the 22 Dauntless. This would be a comparable boat in Whaler's lineup to what the Montauk is. I think if you're shopping for a center console boat, you're going to see a lot of people looking at both of these boats together. And we'll kind of run through a little bit of the differences between the two. Get on up here. So the Dauntless has a lower deck in the back area here to what the Montauk does. This is meant to be a fully fishable area. So this is all flat through here. So when these seats are down, you can stand all the way out to the outboard edges and be able to fish it. It does have similar fold-up seats to what the Montauk has. So opens up, fully padded already. I really like this versus the 25 to where you have to unfold and then attach cushions. So personal preference, I mean, you get a little bit bigger boat in the 25, but I think you get better function out of the 22 stern seats. There is storage underneath that. Same as the Montauk, you do have a very similar RPS here. You do have an option to get a leaning post. You can actually get a leaning post with a bait station. So there are some more options to this boat that you don't have in the Montauk, but the function of the RPS is exactly the same. Console is a little bit bigger, so it's a little bit wider. Between the 22 and the 25, both boats share the exact same console, the same top structure, and the same forward seating lounge area. So if you're looking at a 22 or 25 Dauntless, know that no matter what, the consoles are the same between them. So you don't get a bigger lounge up front if you get a 25. Again, you got plenty of flat surfaces to mount any electronics. It's a really nice helm. Running both of these boats, it feels appropriate. I've run the 25 as well as the 22 Dauntless. It's a great helm layout. It does have, again, a small bathroom in there if you want to use it. Again, like the Montauk, it's pretty difficult for a big adult to get in there, but it does have it, and it does have that function. So if you have young kids, they're able to get in there, they're able to use it, and again, that really helps to extend the usability and the day of the boat. Moving from the helm area up here to the bow, the 22 and the 25 Dauntless, like I said, have the same lounge area up front here. This was a feature that you saw originally on the 270 Dauntless when it was released, and now it's made its way down to the smaller Dauntless. Again, this is really what started on the Outrage line, but having this lounge up front is a great area for two adults to sit here comfortably. They're able to run the boat when it's up on plane and not feel like they're way up here in the bow and super exposed. It's a great place to run. You do have all of the storage that goes with it. Now, this area here is actually grooved out so that you can put long items. They do go into the head area, but you are able to store long rods and things like that up there. You do have your table here, which you're able to break out if you want to and use. That's stored up front. And then as well, like I talked about on the Montauk, the latches on this boat for access are always right here in the front, so you don't have to be reaching underneath the cushions, which I think is a really nice way to do it. The difference between the 22 and the 25, I've talked about this in some of the other videos, is on the 25 you do have a lounge area that extends from the front area to the sides, and they do have flip-up seats. Myself, I don't know that you're really missing much on the 22 by not having those. I think with this forward lounge area, you have lots of functional space to use. And I think the 22, between that and the 25, would always be my go-to choice. And I do believe, while the 25 has a larger platform area here in the back for fishability, larger area for casting, it does actually have less room between the back of the RPS or the Helm, leaning post, whatever you get in this bulkhead. You actually do have more room here on the 22. So for me, between the 22 Dauntless and the 21 Montauk, those are some of the differences. And I think when you're really looking at the boats being the 22 and the 25 Dauntless, for me, I think every day of the week I would go with a 22 Dauntless over a 25. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the walkthrough of the two boats, and if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. Thanks very much.